Okay, everybody, it is me, Gregory Mannarino. It's a lovely day, seriously. Thursday, October 29th, 2020. Okay, what happened today? Well, a little bit of a rally on Wall Street, but this market was all over the place. Down 200 points with regard to the Dow, up over 300 with regard to the Dow. We finished up about 140 with regard to the Dow. Okay, was that the real story? Is that where you should be looking today? Absolutely not. Did you see the 10-year yield? How many of you? Let me see a show of hands. Yeah, yeah, exactly. I knew it. Well, watching that 10-year yield, 0.83. Pretty substantial move. The dollar here is showing some signs of strength. And it's just so funny, seriously. Like I think I talked about it earlier today. Morgan Stanley takes a big bet against the dollar a few days ago. What happened since that day? The dollar's gotten stronger. It's not going to last, especially in this environment where the market is expecting multiple trillions of dollars in more debt. And the end game here is, of course, to kill the dollar, create inflation. That's what the Fed is all about. They're gonna explode their balance sheets like you have no idea. That's the name of the game. When you are in an economic free fall, like we're in right now, wait, we got a great GDP number today. Nobody is buying this. I mean, I don't care. No one's buying it. It's not real. We all know that. None of this is real. None of the numbers are real. None of it. It's all propaganda. Why? Well, for many reasons. We're in a propaganda war with China. Covered that earlier. It's a Cold War with China. No trade deal. Never was a trade deal. It was a lie that was sold to the American people. Some people bought it. Most people didn't. If you followed this blog, since day one, I explained to you that it was a charade and it was not real. Of course, I was, put down, told I was wrong. How's it look to you now? Real good? Yeah, exactly. But again, that's where we're at. So let's talk further. Bitcoin put on a gain today, but overall, cryptocurrencies are flat today. Gold and silver, relatively flat on the day. Look, everything we're seeing here, everything in this market is to be expected. There's nothing dramatic going on here. There's volatility in the market. We had a couple of big days of a sell-off. Now it's consolidating. This is normal. This is normal market activity. I know. I don't know where you people are getting this information from. I really don't. There must be someone else out here on YouTube with a big channel saying that this is it. The market's going to crash. It's going to melt down. But really, what are they looking at? Are they basing that call on looking at the debt market? Because the debt market is the time bomb. You understand that, right? It's not the stock market. The stock market is a derivative as to what is occurring in the debt market. So if you follow my blog and you're sitting here and you're looking at the 10-year yield, looking very relaxed here, regardless of the dollar putting on some strength, which you would imagine would happen in an environment like this, indecision. No one knows who's really going to win the election, although I know most of you Trump supporters believe it's a lock. Maybe, but let's see. We got a few days here. Anyway, just understand what you're looking at here. You cannot look at the stock market as an entity among itself. You must look somewhere else to gauge where the stock market is going to go. The debt market is a monster. It's a financial Frankenstein. I've literally said that in those terms for I don't know, a decade. It's gotten more monstrous, and it will continue to get more monstrous as the final solution here is realized. The final solution is what? That's right. For the Federal Reserve to be the lender and buyer of last resort so they can own it all. Now, with regard to the propaganda, yeah, sure. The propaganda numbers like today's GDP number, the first-time unemployment numbers, although the number was abysmal, they're allowing us to know that there's 100,000 people applied for first-time benefits, the number is probably 3 times higher. With regard to the GDP number, it's more than likely in the negative. How do we know that? Let's look around a little bit. Our manufacturing sector as a whole is cratering into a hole. We're not exporting anything. Debts, deficits exploding. Unemployment at Great Depression era levels. But they want you to believe that we just got this historic number with regard to GDP? No, you're being played. You're being played like a fiddle. Whatever. That's what's going on to you. But again, you see, this is playing to a certain type of a mentality out there. You know exactly who I'm talking about. I don't want to put anybody down here because I've said this is a time for us to come together right now. But the truth of the matter is there are those that I don't know what they are, grasping at straws for whatever reason. They think that government does not lie. How many of you actually even realize that? There are people out here that refuse to believe that the government lies to us. Yeah. I find that astonishing. But again, I hear from people from all over the world, okay? But people in this country, there's something wrong with them, a lot of them. And again, I don't want to put anyone down, but the truth of the matter is they don't get it. I think it's a form of a mass brainwashing on an epic scale via the television, via the mainstream media, the lies from the politicians that just keep getting larger and larger, and it will not go away. People that are so desperate to latch on to something because they need help that they'll believe anything. They literally will. If some people would actually try to drink sand if a politician told them that would quench their thirst. That's how obscene the environment we are in is. But again, like I have said to you people, this is a natural selection. It's a natural selection. You have a group of people here, and you are one of them if you're sitting here watching this blog, who's able to see through the dog shit. All right? Understand what's going on around you, realizing that this is a very, very unique environment where we have an economy in free fall. But people still believe that if we leave things the way they are, they're going to magically improve. No, we need maximum change. And I don't think there's a single politician, really, not one, that has our best interest. It's all about cash, Wall Street, the Wall Street banks, big pharma, all of it. That's what this is all about. Everything else is just conversation. You all know that, and there's no other way to put it. Anyway, so just in summary real quick, yeah, we had a rally on Wall Street today. It was volatile, though, very volatile. I still expect to see this here into the election, although I also believe, I'm going to go way out on a limb here, okay? Yesterday we had a pretty substantial drop in the market. When you see a market drop like that, it's almost like a toilet flushing. It gets a lot of weak positions out. So you form a bottom. Now, I hate, and I don't believe that we can pick tops and bottoms in the market. You know that if you follow my work here. But again, when you see a big move like that, especially on a day like today, the next day, forget about the stock market. But when you see that 10-year yield move up, that's literally like a sigh of relief, like almost like it's over. Stocks tend to rebound off of a move like that. You understand? So, again, I know it's going to happen if this market goes against what I just said. Oh, people are going to say, oh, Greg's guaranteed that the stock market is going up. I did not say that. I said the market tends to go higher after you get a flushing of the market like that, especially when you get a follow-up the next day with the 10-year yield coming up. This really, really should make sense to you. What are the barriers here to the stock market making a big move higher? Well, there are two. Number one, dollar strength. The dollar strength is definitely stock market negative. Why do you think we have politicians talking about how we need a weaker dollar? A weaker dollar is massively stock market positive, but it's bad for you because it steals your purchasing power. But no one will explain that to you. The second one is crude oil. Crude oil is the lifeblood of this entire thing, the lifeblood of the military-industrial complex. Without crude oil moving up, the entire energy sector will suffer, the entire financial sector will suffer, and stocks won't go anywhere. So let's watch those things. Again, look, you got to focus on several things. Number one is the debt market. Watch the 10-year yield. Watch it all day long. La, la, la. See what it's doing. Day like today, pretty epic, okay? What's the dollar doing? Stronger, even though we got that nice move higher in the 10-year yield, there is a compensatory mechanism there. It doesn't allow stocks to move higher. You understand? I've covered this a billion times. Then you got to look over at what crude oil is doing. What's crude doing? Is crude flat? Is it catching a bid? You understand? When you look at these things, it gives you a really good idea of where the stock market is going to go. That's it. It's not that hard to put this all together. All right, look, that's it. I think this has been a pretty informative video. Let's see how this all plays out, and we will, we will rendezvous in this lovely spot right here in the morning, and it's going to be just all kinds of fun. See you then.